Hey, what's up, guys? Real Most One here. I know you guys can see it in the background. This is PUBG on Xbox, guys. I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks how to be successful in this game. Now, I know a lot of you guys watch some of my games on Battlefield and other shooters. What you have learned from me doing those games or gameplays, throw it out the window because PUBG is a totally different game. You can't go in guns blazing and be successful like how you be in Battlefield. PUBG, you have to be more tactical or plan your moves ahead of time. I had the opportunity to play this game on PC before I played it on console, so I have an idea of how the game operates or how a battle royale game operates. So when it comes to console, I wouldn't be at a disadvantage. First, what you guys need to realize that this is early access version of this game. This is not the beta version yet, so the game is going to be terrible, man. The frame rate is going to be dropping, it's going to be rubber banding, and also, man, like, it's just going to be bad like that. The good thing about this is that the devs say they're going to do weekly updates for this on console, so you guys can have a better experience. I don't think it's going to take as long as it took on PC because it's already being fixed on PC, optimizing everything. You got better frame rates and everything on PC now, so I don't think it's going to be taking that long console, because console is just a PC with a weaker graphics card, that's all. So I think the devs can easily fix this to make the frame rate better. I heard that they said they was trying to get 60 frames. I think they could get close to that, but I don't think it's going to be steady. But it's possible to have it on console, especially with the new X. Now let's get into the tips and tricks for this game. Now the main point of this game is to loot up and to survive. This is not Battlefield where you can just go guns blazing, man. You have to strategize yourself in this game. You have to pace yourself. You have to decide when you want to shoot, because every time you shoot, you give up your location to other players around you. So you have to strategize. In squads, when you're looting, try to loot for your teammates too. Don't just be selfish. Because if your teammate needs like a level 2 helmet and you have a level 2 helmet already and you see one on the ground, let them know. Like, you have to share your loot. If they have like 10 rounds left, you have like 100, like, you have to share loot. That's the only way you guys can win together. Point number 2, man, you have to have communication. If you're playing duels or squads, you have to have communication with your squad. When you see an enemy, you have to point him out, tell him, say he's north 50 and 30, etc., west. You have to tell your teammates where the enemy is located, for they can either strategize to take them out or to like wait until someone else take them out, or like flank those guys, or strategize to take out the enemy. And this is just a quick tip for you guys. If you're 100 meters away and you're laying prone in the open field, the people can't see you. So if you think you're covered by the grass or by a bush, just remember, man, in this game that grass doesn't spawn 100 meters away. So if you think you're covered, you're not. So I seen a lot of people doing this on Xbox because they don't know it. So if you're laying down in the grass, they can't see you, especially if you start moving. Another point in this game is there is no aim assist. I know a lot of people are getting pissed off about this for the aim assist part of it because of the frame rate. But what you need to do, man, is find your perfect settings. I'm going to show you guys my settings at the end of the video. But I think it's best that you guys find your settings. I mean, this is my settings, but I don't know if it's gonna work for you, because I know a lot of people like to play slow, and I usually like to play fast because I play on console, man, and I'm used to that, like, mouse acceleration and stuff, and I want that same feeling with a controller. So that's why I have my settings up a little high, or might be too high. I kind of like it that high, but yeah, find your perfect settings for you, man. You have to like keep with it. Don't keep changing all the time, man. And like when you're aiming, man, make sure you hold LB when you're like because if you hold LB, it makes you stop breathing. Like it holds your breath so you can have a steady shot at the target. Also, use the third person aim when the enemy is within 0 to 50 meters. If you use it like over 50 meters, it doesn't work. You have to actually like lead your target just a little more. I mean, it's possible for you to hit your enemy, but I realized on console it's a little weird. When you're aiming down sights with enemies like over 50 meters, man, make sure switch your weapon to single fire because it helps with the accuracy. Don't use burst or auto when your enemy is at a far distance. Use single shots because it's easier to hit your target. I'm gonna talk about shooting again. Only shoot when you need to. When the player is in the open or he's really close to you, that's when you shoot. Because if a player is close to like a rock or a tree, I don't think you want to give up your location to everyone around you. Because if a person has good headphones in this game, he can pinpoint your location to the T and find out where you are. Because man, it's 100 people in the server, and if you're playing solos, you're going up against 99 people. So you have to like strategize yourself, man. You have to like shoot when it's only needed. I can't stress this enough, man. Make sure you guys grab like med kits, first aid, energy drinks, painkillers, man, because you guys will need them, especially, man, later on in the match. Sometimes I have full health, but I still pop like a painkiller toward the end of the match because I know how the enemy is at, like toward the end. Because if you get shot, it automatically regen your health. So try to like stock up on those stuff and make sure to share with your teammates too. When they don't have it, don't be selfish, because that is your squad and you need them to win the game. Also, man, in this game, don't be afraid to use the terrain, man, to your advantage. I know the shadows are high right now on console and the game is really dark, so you can hide. You can lay prone sometimes in the grass right there when the circle is really small and people wouldn't be able to see you, especially if you wear the Morpheus coat. That's what I call it, the Morpheus coat, the black coat. Or you could use trees and rocks to hide behind, man, and you can like lean to shoot around it. It helps you a lot. It helps you out a lot, man. Don't be afraid to use these things, man, because it will help you. Like, you die extremely fast in this game. It's not like Fortnite when someone can shoot a tree or shoot a care package or shoot a rock and it just disappears. When you shoot a rock on a tree in this game, it doesn't disappear. So you have all day just to not all day, but like you have like that area just for you to be protected by. Now I'm gonna switch over to my controller settings. I think I'm gonna make a part 2 for this video, man, because there's so many things that you can talk about with PUBG, like strategizing, how to communicate and all that stuff, hiding, concealment, all that stuff. But I'm gonna make a part 2, man. But I'm gonna toss you guys through my controller settings real quick. So bear with me, and here we go. I'm going to start off by dead zone. I'm not going to talk about vibrations and stuff. I think vibration is personal preference. It's up to you if you want it on or off. It's pretty simple. Dead zone, man. I think it started off at 5 when you start the game up, but I knocked it down to 3. First I tried it at 1, but I thought it was too responsive for me, so I moved it back up to 3, and it felt perfect for me. But one thing about the dead zone, or actually the controller in this game, with the LS stick, it's kind of weird, man, because once you press the LS stick to move like left or right, there's a little delay. So I think PUBG has to fix that for the controller. I don't think that's nothing to do with the controller settings. General settings or sensitivity. What I did for this, I like to move quickly. When I'm going inside a building, I like to turn left and right pretty fast. Like when I'm clearing a building, like I don't want to like move slow and like that. It takes off a couple tenths of a seconds, and like that's the seconds I lose. I might get shot doing those couple seconds. You know what I'm saying? So I bumped it up to 10. I had to get used to it because it's very responsive for the controller. So you if you want to do the same thing, you have to get used to it because it's really fast. Like you can spin around really fast with the R stick and all that stuff. The next on the list is vehicle sensitivity. I think when you start the game up, it starts at 5, and I kept it at 5 because like the vehicle sensitivity is pretty much the sensitivity in the game that I didn't even touch at all because it just felt right. Like when I turn, it turns. You know, when I want to accelerate, it felt right to me. So I never touched it. You know what I'm saying? So next on the list is targeting sensitivity. Now your targeting sensitivity is pretty much like your iron sight sensitivity. So when you look down sight, when you ADS, that's pretty much what it is. When you start the game off again, it start off at 5, and like I couldn't do it. Sometimes when I play this game, I actually have it at 8 or 9. It varies for me. It's how I want to play that day, how I feel like playing. Like if I want to be more responsive, I have it at 9. If I want to be less responsive, I have it at 8. And for me, it took some getting used to because when you move from 5 to 8 or 9, it's a big jump. Next on the list is scoping sensitivity. I really didn't touch this at all. Like I left it at 5 because I think it's like the red dot or the holographic sight in this game, and to me it felt right, man, because the red dot is really small, same as the holographic sight, and like so like I don't want to have a high sensitivity where it's just like zigging across the screen real quick. I want to be on my target, aim on my target, be quick and hit them, move on to the next one. Next on the list is the 2x scope sensitivity. It started off at 5 and I move it to 6. I move it to 6 because I wanted to feel just a little bit more faster when I'm moving left or right, or either vertical or down. When I aim at my targets too, I'm able to hit them too. Usually when I use this scope or the scopes on 2x and higher, I usually hold the LB button, so I actually like stop moving and actually aim down sight, hold LB to hold my breath, steady my aim, and shoot at the target. Take your time. So I love this scope. Next on the list is the 4x scope, man. Yo, this scope might be my favorite scope in the game because it's a perfect balance for distance and close range. So I have it as the same as the sensitivity level as the 2x, because I don't know, man, it just feels just right when I'm moving right and left. And when I want to aim at a target, man, I use my crosshair and I just aim down sight, and it's like on the target. It's like it just snaps on the target, but it's so it's just perfect for me, man. I just love it. Next is the 8x scope, man, my second favorite scope in the game. When the game first came out, it was on 5, but I couldn't do it, man. When I aimed down sight with it, it was just too slow for me, so I had to increase it, man. So I put it up sometimes. Like sometimes I have it at a 7, sometimes I put it at 8. But usually when it's on 8, it feels just right for me. So it just like how I said with the other sensitivities, man, it just feels right for me when it's at 8. When it's at 8, it feels perfect for me. Now next on the list is the 15x scope. I still have it at 5 because every time I find a scope, I don't have a sniper to put it on, so I usually just give it to one of my squad mates for them to have this scope. I never had the opportunity to use the scope in this game on console yet, so I actually don't know how it feels. That's why I haven't touched the settings for it. Yeah, but that is it. That's all I have for you guys for my settings. We are moving on to the next topic. Now, quick tip for you guys. Now, this is a pro and a con if you guys do this. When you're playing PUBG, and if you want to have more frames during your game and less crashes, what you guys need to do is turn off your game DVR or your broadcast capture or whatever. You know what I mean? You have to cut it off because it's decreasing frames. When you're playing the game, it's making your game record in the background, which makes you lose frames. I did this and the game actually looked better to me, and I had less crashes, and I had more frame rate. Now the problem is about this, for guys who don't have like the Elgato or anything, you can't really record your clips or your gameplay. Say if you have like an epic like 5-man feed at the end of the game and you won the game, you cannot record it as a game clip. And that's the con part of it, man. So you're sacrificing. If you have Elgato, you can do this. You still can use your Elgato. You still can record it, audio and everything. But if you don't have the Elgato, you pretty much sacrificing frame rate and less crashes to record your clips. So it's a pro and con. But it's up to you guys. Again, personal preference. It's your console. You do whatever you want. But I'm just going to give you guys this quick tip because it worked for me. That's all I'm going to say. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe, share it. Rogue Most Wanted out. Peace.